No. Out. 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 Day 76, July 15th, 2022. It has been a grueling stretch these last few days. I'll add up the mileage later, but we did multiple 25-mile days and one 30-mile day during this time. We're heading into Pipestone, Minnesota now. It's getting very close to the South Dakota border, where finally we have a hotel room reserved. Today is comparatively easy. We've only got 17 miles to do today. Hopefully we'll get it done by noon, and the heat of the afternoon we can take off indoors. I wanted to talk about a question I got a while back from a friend who knows I've done this trek twice before. Once in 1995 and again in 1998-99. And the question was about the differences I've seen between this current trek and the ones I've done before. And she supposed one of the biggest differences would be that there'd be a lot more traffic nowadays. And I'm not seeing that, but the reason for that goes back to one of the biggest differences for me, which is Google Maps. Back in the old days, I didn't have a phone which would tell me which way to go. I had to rely on road maps. And I generally stuck to numbered routes because those were the ones that were on the maps. My first trek in '95, I followed US Route 6 from the Mississippi River in Iowa all the way to Cape Cod. Now that was a busy road, but it was going exactly where I wanted to go, and I didn't know any other roads. Google Maps would have sent me on some little known blue highway, as William Least Heat Moon once called them. Or better yet, Google Maps would have found me a rail trail to follow. And that's another difference. Rail trails were around back in the 90s. In fact, I remember following one on Cape Cod all the way out to Provincetown. But I don't think they were as prevalent. And I think there's been a movement in the last quarter century or so to convert more old railroad right-of-ways to trails. So that's another difference. Again, I haven't seen an increase in cars. What I have seen, especially in the Midwest here, is an increased number of golf carts and ATVs, especially in towns. And I should note for the historical record that this is a summer of incredibly high gas prices, and that could be part of it. I also think they're just becoming popular. It's kind of fun to just climb into your four-wheeled scooter and just tootle around town. Well, this fog has come up very suddenly while I was just sitting and having a bite to eat, resting with my feet up. And there is some good news to it. It is really cooling the air down. It's keeping the sun off us. But it's dangerous to be driving in, and it's dangerous for us. We can hear cars coming. We can see the headlights coming with cars coming for us. But what it means is that none of these motorists are gonna scoot over into the other lane and give us some room, because they don't know what's coming at them from the other direction. And that would be fine as long as we had a nice wide paved shoulder. But we've got this dirt and gravel muck that tractor's been driving on and churning it all up. And it's really tough to walk on. So we'll see how long this fog lasts. We've still got 13 miles to go to get to Pipestone. Okay, I did the math. From where we stayed last time, we stayed in a motel in Mankato, to where we're going in Pipestone is 131 miles. We walked it in 5 days. That averages out to a marathon a day, 26.2 miles. But today we're only doing 17 miles, so if you subtract that from the 131, you get somewhere around 28.5 miles a day, averaged over 4 days. And it's no wonder I'm limping a bit this morning. No pun intended. I am sorely in need of a hotel room with a bath. I'll take a shower, but preferably a bath. There's some nice thistles. I think that's probably an invasive exotic vine, but the flower is pretty. And the bugs like it. We are following the Casey Jones Trail the last 5.5 miles or so into Pipestone. I'm going to go out on a limb and say any trail named after Casey Jones is probably a rail trail. We found this trail first back in Lake Wilson 12 miles ago, but at the time it was grassy and overgrown and muddy in spots, and the overnight dew was just soaking the grass and making my feet all slippery, so we took the road instead. But I thought I'd give it one more look, and it's paved now, so we're on it.